whenever I talk about politics on social media and I talk about education secretaries, and over the past few years, we've had a few, I think for a lot of teachers, they always say to me, it'd be great to have someone who has done the job be education secretary. So, because I think I always feel that unless you've worked in education, you can never truly appreciate the struggles and sort of how bad the system is at the minute and so on. Now, I know you've not come from an education background, but to that point where someone says, what qualifies you to do this job? What is, I suppose, what's going to make you different from the endless conveyor belt we've had over the past few years, where I feel there's been a real disconnect between the profession and those in power?
I mean, firstly, I do understand the frustration, and I hear that the length and breadth of the country in conversations I've had with teachers and school support staff. And I think what I would say is that when I was first appointed into this role in November 2021, if I could have chosen a role in the shadow cabinet, it would be a shadow education secretary. It was the one job that I really wanted the chance to do, because education means the world to me and it transformed my life. And I want all children and young people to have a great start in life and a great education. But I recognise that I'm not from an education background, and therefore the opportunity in those 2.5 years to listen directly to people, to understand the challenges, but also the strengths and positives within the system, especially where it comes to the workforce. That's been absolutely essential for me. Now, for all I say, I'm not from an education background. Before I came into politics, I managed a women's refuge for families experiencing domestic violence. So I did have direct experience of lots of issues around how we keep children safe, around safeguarding, and the support that all families need to thrive. So a different kind of experience, but you know, an experience that lots of teachers and school staff will be grappling with in terms of their wider responsibilities in terms of children's well-being. And
Yeah.
just very finally, I don't think it's essential, but I see this as a parent. You know, both of my children go to state schools, so I see it as a politician in the bigger sense, but I also see it every day in my children's experiences and the lives of their friends. And you know, my kids are fortunate. I know that, and they have an easier life now than I did when I was growing up, where it was a lot tougher. But
Yeah.
education is just absolutely crucial, and the commitment that I would give if I'm lucky enough to be education secretary in a Labour government after the election is that I will always listen to and work with the profession. We've gotten to a bad place at the moment, and I want to reset and rebuild that relationship between government and schools. And that has to involve listening to, respecting, and working with the people who deliver for our children, and moving away from, I think, far too much of the negativity that we've had in recent months and years.